All right, everybody. So here it is, Friday evening. It's taken me all day to kind of put this thing together because I'm on the verge of crashing out. The longer this week is, uh, like the worse things seem to get. We started this past Sunday with the murder of Alex Preddy, um, and then you've got 5-year-olds being detained in Minnesota, then moved to Texas where they don't have access to a lawyer or any sort of representation. And then yesterday, you have this terrible news coming out of once again Texas, where the son passed away after his father was detained by ICE at his regular check-in. The dude went to his regular check-in like he's supposed to, and they detained his dad, who was his primary caregiver, who has been his primary caregiver since 2019, who was granted a waiver um, on his immigration status because of that. So the government knew this. But I guess sometime in the past, somebody accused this guy of being a member of the PLO, and then the dipstick in the White House revokes all visas for active members or people associated with the Palestinian Liberation Organization. And now all of a sudden, October of last year is when this guy got detained, and his son just continued to spiral. His health continued to spiral. Got sick. The family tried to get him out of prison, tried to get him out of detention to go take care of his son under supervision of ICE, which, according to their website, according to their policy, they do allow you to do. And they denied it. And the family appealed it. And his son's dying wish was just to see his dad one more time. And DHS denied it. And now his son is gone. And the last report that I've seen is he's not going to be able to go to the funeral. Are you effing kidding me? Are you effing kidding? This is the worst of the worst that you're going after. I can't believe it. I'm just like full on crash out. I put my kid on tonight because I'm full on crashing out. But even that being the case, still got to look tactical unicorn. Oh, can't see it. There it is right there. Uh, Tactical as fuck, bro. So I'm trying to keep it lighthearted. Um, but it's just DHS and this administration are making it more and more difficult to want to see the humanity in the other side, in the Republicans, in MAGA. The back backstep that there are Republicans, there are some Republicans that have started to come around, show their morality, show their standards that they have. So for me, it's MAGA. It's not Republicans specifically. It's MAGA. And it's just I don't get it. I If somebody out there has a better insight, please clue me in because uh, I've talked to people that I know that are on that side of the spectrum, and they just regurgitate talking points from Newsmax, from True Social, from Fox News, like they believe anything and everything that the White House puts out, and they don't look at it with any sort of critical thinking, and I cannot understand why. Um, because I don't think that they're bad people. I don't believe that, and I guess part of the reason why is because um, if they are truly bad people, then what does that say about me choosing to have them in my life? Does that mean that I okay that? I don't. I don't think so. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. But so moving on. In other news, it's kind of good to see Andrew Schultz kind of come around and have the curtain pulled off of his eyes and realize that he was lied to by Trump, by the Republican administration, and to hear him on his podcast call them out. I don't leave much room for hope that somebody like Rogan is going to do something like that. I think he's too beholden to the mighty dollar to stand on principle, um, and he's shown that time and time again. That whoever has gives him the most commas in a check, he'll back 100%. It's pretty wild and it's pretty ridiculous. It's just yeah, they're starting to see some little glimmers of hope. They're starting to see, um, well, I'm starting to see some glimmers of hope. I'm starting to see some Republicans kind of push back in the Congress and the Senate to holding the administration um, accountable. I think one of the most notable ones this week was Senator Tillis, who when a reporter told him that the president called him a loser, he said, "Oh, that's great. That's fantastic." He's like, "Now that qualifies me to be in charge of the lead Department of Homeland Security and be uh, a trusted White House advisor, so talking about Nome and Miller, and I thought that was pretty hilarious. So there's cracks in the party, and I love seeing that. Um, Here in my area, on this afternoon, we had several student walkouts from the local high schools, which I was very happy to see. That that generation is standing on principle. Uh, Even though some of them can't vote, they still have standards. They still have uh, a moral compass, if you will, and they still understand what's right and what's wrong. They still understand that what's happening in this country right now is wrong. There's no two ways about it. It's wrong. You're conducting. You have this organization that borderlines on a police force of untrained individuals who get anywhere from 47 days of training to 4 weeks of online training, thanks to an AI glitch. I saw that news report come out from I believe it was New York Times earlier this week, that an AI glitch that Department of that DHS was using flagged certain keywords like officers and fast tracked those applications, allowed them just to do a 4 week online training course. And what they got were people that were compliance officers. I mean, and that's what's out there in this police state right now. The Republicans kind of bemoan when they get called the Gestapo, um, and they get compared to Nazi Germany because a lot of them will refer to what the Nazis did during at the height of World War II. And what they don't understand is what we're saying is this is what Germany looked like before World War II. We're talking about Germany, 1933 to 39. Like this is how it started. Like they didn't start just going door to door in concentration camps and pulling everybody out. They started by making you afraid of somebody and demonizing one specific demographic of their society, and then continuing to hammer down that they are the problem, that what they're trying to do is really to improve your lives, that them pulling people out of houses and pulling people out of cars and taking away your 2A rights, and confiscating all the guns was for your benefit. And that's how it started. And when we say, um, when liberals and Democrats say like this is very much like Nazi Germany, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Germany in 33 to 39 because we remember our history. We remember how it happened, how it started, um, and not just the talking points and not just the filtered out, streamlined version that they're putting in textbooks nowadays because the Department of Education doesn't like the truth, and this administration doesn't like the truth. Um, so I was very happy to see the younger generation um, get out there and really show their support across the board. So that was fantastic. Um, Another reason why I'm wearing a kit tonight is I want to remind all you guys the importance of training. And training doesn't just involve going to the range. It also involves if you have kit and you're not used to wearing it. If you didn't serve in the armed forces where you had to wear a plate carrier all day every day, and so you don't know what it's like to wear this thing for 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Then do that. Put it on. If you have it, put it on. Wear it around the house. Do laundry. Do dishes. Get used to the weight. Feel how it moves. That's the best way to kind of figure out um, how things are oriented. Like I can't tell you how many times I've reorganized this thing and had to rebalance this thing just because. Excuse me. I can't tell you how many times I've had to reorganize this thing just because the weight was off and it was pulling more in the front, pulling more in the back, or when I would dry fire practice and go to pull, the next mag in line, as far as magazine orientation, this way or that way, knife placement, all of it, your first aid, I have got a little kangaroo pouch here in the bottom of my kit for first aid, and I've got an extra one over here on the side. Um, that was 3D printed from a guy that I got off of Reddit, so it's pretty spectacular. But wear it. Put it on. If you've got a helmet, put the helmet on. Make sure it fits. Make sure it sits properly. Make sure it's comfortable ish to wear because they're not going to be comfortable to wear for a long period of time. And it's just one of the things you just got to suck it up and you're going to have to deal with it. It just, get used to being uncomfortable, basically. But wear it. The biggest thing is, especially if you have a plate carrier, if you've never trained in it and you've never actually shouldered your rifle while you're in your carrier, you need to do that before you have to do that. uh, because shoulder placement changes because you've got straps here now. So you're not going to be able to get the butt of that rifle right there in that pocket. So you've got to remember that. So you need to train that aspect of it. And one of the best times to do that is during dry fire. Um, so it's training is not just how to sending rounds down range. It's also figuring out the bugs in your equipment as far if you run a belt. Um, Make sure you're not running it with like for me. Sometimes I wear it with pants that are just a little too big, and it gets uncomfortable. It bunches up, and I get a little hot spot here in the lower in my lower back, just from where the material bunches together. So look at maybe going down a pant size if that's the case when you're wearing your belt. If it's comfortable for you to go to, especially for those of you who CCW every day, um, maybe don't go up two pant sizes. Maybe just go up one pant size. That way, it's kind of flexible. Either um, you're concealed carrying, or if you're running a battle belt. So it's little stuff like that. Like shake your equipment down. Get out there, get it out, use it, get it dirty. Try to break it. That's the biggest thing. Try to break it. I know some of this stuff is expensive, um, but you don't have to buy like the high speed gear that's $300 for a belt, and you don't have to buy um, 185 or $200 holster. There are other options that work really, really well. I'm not going to say they're just as good, but they work really, really well, and they will do what we need them to do. So try to break it. Um, that way, it breaks during training and not when you're actually needing it and using it. That's the biggest thing right there is shake all this stuff down. Uh, oh, one other thing. Training also. Compete. Go out. One other thing also. Compete. Go out and compete. Find local matches. Find a local gun store that hosts a pistol match, a rifle match, a two-gun match. There's an organization here where I live that's hosting a training class next weekend on competition site, basically how to see a target layout, how to shoot a target layout, and kind of how to see the course and be the most efficient. There is an organization here near where I live that's hosting there is an organization here where I live that's hosting a class next weekend on competition shooting. That's going to go over how to see the course, how to lay it out in your head, left to right, right to left, far target to near target, that kind of thing. And also when you run a rifle, and even if you have a red dot on your pistol, a lot of it's height over bore, your holdovers. That's one of the things that in the heat of the moment, people tend to forget. I have run into that many, many times when I first started competing. That was one of the things that I really had to learn was my holdovers. Can't tell you how many times they've had a hostage target uh, in front of a bad guy target, and because I didn't remember my holdovers, I shot the hostage. Uh, so that's one of those things you've got to figure all this stuff out, and that's one of the best ways to do it. Is go compete, uh, compete, go train, go find extra training, learn your systems, learn your platforms, um, and just again, I've said it before. There's a guy on Instagram cause actual who he's says all the time, run your gear, not your mouth, um, and that's the best thing. Don't talk about how good you are. Go out there and show it. Go out there and demonstrate it, because I guarantee you the other side is too. Um, and one of the things that's going on right now is they're realizing they're not the only ones that have firearms. If they haven't realized it, they're finding it out now, um, because there's many, many more of us coming out, and there's more of us, putting it out there that hey, look, you're not the only one. Just because we believe that there should be some common sense gun control doesn't mean that we are anti-gun, and you're finding that out, and it scares the hell out of them, which is hilarious because I think that's the reason why you have people like Patel, like Nome, like the president coming out and being so anti 2A, saying, that you can't carry a firearm to a protest. Yeah, you can. You can't bring a loaded gun to a protest. Yeah, you can. That Alex Preddy was looking to cause harms because he had, uh, what was it Scott Besson said, two cartridges on him. And the others were saying that he had multiple magazines with multiple rounds. Duh. Like, anybody that concealed carries always typically has more than one magazine. And I promise you, we've got more than two cartridges um, for those absolute twats who have no idea what they're talking about. But I think that really, really shows how they don't believe what they're standing for. Like they don't have any principles. Like they claim to be this pro 2A righteous administration, and yet you have them out there saying these most idiotic things, and it takes about 2 minutes of listening to them talk to realize they don't believe what they're saying, have never believed what they're saying, and probably have never shot a gun, except for Christy Nome, who, according to her book, shot her dog in the face. But they are so inept and uninformed. It is laughable that people still give them any kind of credibility. So go out there and train. Hold the line for the right side. Hold the line for humanity. Hold the line for equality. Hold the line for inclusion, because that's what we need right now. We don't need waffling back and forth. We don't need leaders um, who will cross the line, cross the picket line, for lack of a better term, um, just to kind of go along to get along. We don't need that right now. We need people to stand on their principles. We need people to hold the line. Um, and if they don't, remember that in November and vote them the hell out of office. Get them the hell out of there, and let's start electing people who will stand on their principles, who will stand for on the morality, who will stand for inclusiveness, who will stand for equality. And it's unfathomable to me to think that that's where this country is now. Like that genuinely breaks my heart to know that a majority of, when a good percentage of this country is okay with trampling on somebody else's civil rights, and they're okay with seeing a whole group of people that they rely on as less than. Like it sickens me, and that's exactly where it is. That's my crash out for tonight, guys. Thanks for helping me continue to grow this channel. Drop down in the comments section. Let me know what you think of it. Hit me a like. Hit me a subscribe. Let's keep sending the message out there. Go out and train. Um, and remember, if you want better, make better. The only way to make better is to be better. All right. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay safe, especially down here in the southeast with this massive snowstorm that's coming. Similar to the one that came last weekend, where all the milk and bread was gone here in the local grocery stores. And I went to the grocery store today, and all the milk and bread was gone again. And I'm like, I know y'all didn't drink it all. I know y'all didn't drink all that damn milk. I know you didn't eat all that damn bread. You've still got some left at the house. So just be safe, but don't panic. All right, we'll be okay. As far as the snowstorm goes, as far as what's going on in the country, time's gonna tell. Time's really gonna tell. That's all for now. But again, like, subscribe, comment, send it on, and let's keep growing this channel. All right. Appreciate everybody.